personal. It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so there's been a lot of outpour in boxing, a lot of outrage about this Rayo Valenzuela Chris Colbert fight. You know, I've heard a lot of people throw the word around robbery, you know, saying that Rayo Valenzuela was robbed and they gave Chris Colbert a gift decision. Now, I don't agree with that, because when I scored the fight live on our live fight reaction, and for those of you that showed up to the live fight reaction, thank you guys so much. I appreciate the support that we get on those. But like, I didn't think that it was a robbery. I thought Colbert won by a point. I think it was a fight. It was definitely a tale of two fights. Nobody dominated. It really could have went either way. I thought Rayo got off to like a dream start. You know, you're Rayo Valenzuela. You know, you're coming off a knockout loss to Edwin De Los Santos. PBC, I thought, was giving you a guy that was a name at 130, but really, even at 130, Colbert isn't even a big puncher at his weight class, and they moved him up to 35, and it was a golden opportunity, I feel, for Rayo Valenzuela to put a name on his resume and get back in the win column. And he looked well on his way to doing that, but after he got the knockdown, it just seemed to me like as the fight progressed and Colbert began to settle into a rhythm and kind of got used to the punching mechanics and the cadence of how Rayo Valenzuela was delivering his punches, I just don't think it phased him less and less as the fight went on. And what happened was Chris Colbert grew in confidence and he started stepping to Rayo. And he started actually, in a couple rounds of that fight, fighting Rayo in the pocket and win exchanges. And then I think it was like in the middle rounds, he actually had Rayo Valenzuela leaking from his nose. So robbery is saying that this fight's robbery. I mean, there's been many fights on here over the years that I've called robberies. This sure as hell ain't one of them. It was a close fight that could have went either way, where I don't think really either fighter imposed themselves on the fight enough to say that. Like, I don't think Chris Colbert won by more than a round or a point. And I don't think Rayo Valenzuela, if you had him winning, won by a point, or more than a point, you know? It was just one of those fights where the margins were paper thin. So, you know, for Rayo Valenzuela, I feel like he's got to do what Chris Colbert did against Hector Garcia. Like, people don't like the fact that Chris Colbert is saying that Rayo's being a sore loser, but you know what? He's got a point. When Chris got his ass beat by Hector Garcia, and then he ran around the ring in the 12th round and people clowned him, he didn't make excuses. He didn't say, oh, I had a bad camp. He didn't say I was weight drained. He didn't say I injured my hand in camp. He just took his loss like a man and said, hey, Hector was a better man tonight, and that's what it was. And you didn't really hear a lot of excuses for Chris Colbert, even in the aftermath of the fight. So he handled that loss like a man. And now that Rayo lost again, he didn't really handle his loss quite like a man. You know, he just he sulked, and I get it. You know, it's emotions are running high, so I'm not gonna hold it against him. But you know, even if you thought he won, it wasn't a good performance. It wasn't the kind of performance you were looking for from Rayo, and he's got a lot to work on, because Rayo, not too long ago, this is the guy that just 2 fights ago we were talking about him as one of the young stars for PBC. And now Rayo Valenzuela has 2 losses, and you know, one in knockout fashion and then one to a smaller, lighter punching fighter from the weight class below him. So he's got, you know, he has a lot of things to account for right now. I think we're gonna really see the character of Rayo Valenzuela and what it's all about moving forward, you know. So I'm not writing him off. He can always come back better. But this whole, like, you know, because I remember, like, it was like the 4th or 5th round. After the bell rang, he started dancing like to the Mexican music that was playing on the speaker. And I just thought the fight was too close for him to be thinking that he was that comfortable in the fight. And I don't know what kind of instructions Jose Benavidez gave him, but if the instructions were like anything like sit on the outside and box with Chris Colbert, stupid. It was dumb. It was dumb, and he paid for it dearly in the fight. So he's got nobody to blame but himself, and hopefully he can come better from this. You know, I know Floyd Mayweather told him that he won the fight. Floyd is wrong, all right? Floyd is wrong. Floyd is wrong, and all of his friends that are telling him he won this fight, they're wrong too. It was close. He could have possibly got the nod. It was that close of a fight. But I think in the end, the right guy won. Chris Colbert I liked the fact that as the fight went on, not only did he start to outbox and step to Rayo, but he also was able to out-volume the volume guy. And that's another thing that I think cost him the fight. The fact that he is known for being a volume puncher, right? Let me explain something to you guys. When a fighter has a style or a specific trait that he's known for in the ring, if the opponent can even make the fight competitive using the same trait that fighter uses to normally win his fights, judges will give that fight a round. So for example, like for example, Chris Colbert's not a guy that throws high volume of punches, and he's not a guy really that you would say throws more punches than Rayo Valenzuela, but he had a lot of rounds where he was throwing as many punches as Rayo Valenzuela, and he was landing. So because of that, I can see why the judges are giving him rounds. So make of that what you will. But as far as Chris Colbert, good on him, man. He showed a lot of mental toughness, to lose the way he did to Hector Garcia and then come back and win a fight like this against a bigger guy moving up in weight. It shows a lot about him. It shows a lot about his character, and I think he's answered a lot of questions about himself. And I think the ideal move for him is to not stay at 135, because he fights anybody better than Rayo Valenzuela, he's going to get starched. So he needs to go out down at 130. I feel like, with Hector losing the tank, maybe he can go get that fight back. And if not that fight, try to build your way towards Hector rematch, because Hector is still a champion, and Hector still is one of the better fighters at 130. So I think Chris Colbert, he's got some momentum now. He's back, he's back, So shout out to him for showing a lot of character and gumption and determination to beat a bigger man in your first fight back after a loss. Well, let's be real. He got exposed. It was disgraceful how he ran around the ring, and I don't like saying that fighters ran around the ring, but he literally ran around the ring just so he didn't get knocked out by Hector Garcia. So, if there was ever a fighter that rebounded in great fashion, in my opinion, it was Lil B-Hop. And I'm not calling him by his other nickname. Lil B-Hop, Chris Colbert. Shout out to him, man. Good to see him get back in the win column. But Rayo, keep your head up. I like Rayo. Rayo's a good fighter. He's not a bad fighter at all. He just needs to really, I think, when he has a guy hurt, put him away. And I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch, but that's up to Chris Colbert, if he wants to give it to him, which I don't think he's going to, because he didn't like the way Rayo acted after the fight. So it is what it is. Life goes on like the song says. But give me your thoughts, guys. Am I alone? Because I've seen a lot of people crying about this fight. What do you guys think? Did Rayo Valenzuela get robbed? Was it foul play? Or do you think, you could see Chris Colbert winning the fight? Because I thought it was mad close. If they would have called it a draw, I would have been okay with it, So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.